Right.
Good morning, and today we'll go over how to identify major features within an organization and express them in an organizational chart, right? So, just like people have features like skin color, facial features, hair and eye shape, and size and color, etc. Similarly, organizations may be described by features. So, there are seven features in total, four major ones proposed by Edgar Schein, which we will go over, and then three more that most authorities agree on. And all these features, uh, all of them, they translate into the organizational chart, which will help us understand, the various features of an organization, various aspects of an organization, and help us to differentiate one organization from another, right? So the first thing we'll do is we'll look at the four features proposed by Edgar Schein, right? These are the four features. Essentially, it's common purpose, which is does the organization or the company have a means for unifying its members? Coordinated effort, which is basically working together for common purpose, like how coordinated an organization is, and what kind of a common purpose an organization or a company has, right? The division of labor, how do you specialize? Is it just two people doing everything? Is it one person doing everything? Is it like 5,000 people each specialized in some area who are contributing to greater efficiency? And then the hierarchy of authority, the chain of command. How 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 is the corporation or the company organized? Is it very hierarchical? Is it flat? All these form features that Edgar Schein basically identified. So the first feature we'll go over uh, is common purpose, right? Which is it's a means for unifying members. If you have a common purpose, you rally together and try to advance that common purpose, right? An organization without a purpose begins to drift and becomes disorganized, right? And in order to remain organized, there needs to be a reason for existing that all of the organization members agree upon, right? Basically, it unifies members, right? So coordinated effort would be how well within an organization the people work together. We can describe or classify an organization by the different methods of coordination it chooses, right? For example, in clan cultures, coordination is accomplished through interactions between peoples and teams. In contrast, in hierarchy cultures, coordination likely stems from rigid procedures and processes, right? So organizational culture is an important factor in um, choosing how you coordinate effort, and um, basically that becomes a feature that differentiates an organization from the next. Then there's division of labor, right? With division of labor, organizations can parcel out work to specialists, right, resulting in greater efficiency, right? And one way to describe organizations is to discuss the specific ways they choose to divide their labor, right? That would be another feature that'll help you to identify an organization. Now, you can get a better picture of an organization if you understand its unique hierarchy of authority, right? Authority is most effective when arranged in a hierarchy without tiers or ranks. A lone manager would have to confer with everyone in their domain, making it difficult to get things done. That is why early democracies and republics would install dictators or temporary leaders with absolute power in emergencies to better execute upon the felicity of the state or the organization, right? To bring about the felicity of the state and to bring about felicity for the organization. So that is even the case with uh, corporations or organizations that have a great deal of mistrust, like with democracies and republics, and that are basically on the edges of governance, right? People who have a lot of homogeneity and a lot of trust and are fairly innocent and not traumatized, they usually end up with a unified leader or a rightly guided tyrant who they call a monarch or a king, right? Now, there are three more features that are identified that we will go over that are generally agreed upon. One of them is the span of control, how narrow or tall or flat or wide a span of control is. Basically, it's it resembles something like this essentially. How many people answer to you flattens an organization or makes it vertically aligned, right? And then authority, which is um, yeah. Before we go on to authority, let's go a little bit deeper on span of control. Um, so the span of control or span of management refers to the number of people reporting directly to a given manager, right? So narrow span of control means a manager has limited number of people reporting, right? Three vice presidents reporting to a president, for example, instead of nine vice presidents reporting to one president. If there were nine of them, then it would be a flatter organization, right? There would be a wide span of control. This means a manager that has several people, a first line supervisor may have 40 or more subordinates. And if that's the case, then there would be a wide span of control. Next, we'll go over authority and accountability, responsibility, and delegation, right? So these are all aspects of an organization, right? Authority refers to the right inherent in a managerial position to make decisions, give orders, and utilize resources. Accountability is basically how managers must report and justify work results to the managers above them. And the same thing goes with the subordinates. Then responsibility is the obligation you have to perform the task assigned to you and how you are basically responsible for the acts or the products of the organization and basically a sense of ownership and a sense of um, responding to whatever are the externalities and whatever are the outcomes of your efforts, right? And then delegation is the process of assigning managerial authority and responsibility to managers and employees lower in the hierarchy, right? So if most managers don't want to do everything, they have to, in order to be more efficient and focused, they have to assign some of those responsibilities to others, right? Then the next feature is how centralized or decentralized is your authority, right? Um, Centralized authorities basically have all the important decisions made by higher level managers, and decentralized authorities are basically they're having more of their decisions made by mid-level supervisory level people, right? So thus far you've learned seven different features or aspects that may be used to describe an organization. An organization's features combine into a visual depiction of their structure. This is known as an organizational chart, discussed next, right? Um, so the organizational chart um, basically uh, encapsulates two different components. It encapsulates who reports to whom, right? It says, okay, this person is the manager, or and these people are their subordinates, right? Or VP, vice president, CEO, president, whatever. Who reports to whom is captured within an organizational chart, and then you also have who specializes in what work. That may also be encapsulated. Basically, if you look at take a glance to the left and to the right of the lines of an organizational chart, it shows the horizontal specialization, right? The different jobs or work specializations, right? We'll see an example of that next. So here you see two different horizontally, you see there are two different specializations. One side is the executive medical director, and the other is the administrative. So the people administrating and smoothing the administrative work for the medical professionals in a medical facility, right? And all these guys end up reporting to the chief executive officers, the president, and all these people end up getting overseen by the board of directors, right? And of course, within underneath your administrative and medical, you have different departments, right? If you go from left to right, you see all these departments, some of them doing x-ray work, some of them doing surgery, some of them dispensing medicine or pharmacy, some of them are responsible for outpatient services, others are more general physicians, right? So you have on the other side, the admins, they have different components: accounting, HR, food services, admissions, and patient and public relations, right? So in conclusion, we looked at 7 features of an organization that would more that would allow us to more distinctly identify an organization, and I hope this was informative and helpful. Thank you for listening.